But we begin tonight with freedom camping, hugely popular as a cheap and flexible way to see the country. It's also beginning to drive some communities mad. The boat ramp, for example, in Akaroa, where a camper van gridlock has prevented locals launching their boats on occasion. Illegal camping and human waste on beaches near Greymouth, and human excrement becoming an all too common addition to the landscape and places of beauty beloved by us all, including freedom campers. The Freedom Camping Act went through 3 years ago, but are campers getting the message? Here's Fiona Owen in Greymouth.
It's not very nice when you find what they leave behind.
We eat whitebait out of the Greymouth River.
And people pee and poo
in there.
Oh, sorry you had to hear that, but these coasters aren't happy about the tourists who come to Greymouth, camp illegally and toilet outside. In 2012, the Grey District Council brought in a freedom camping bylaw.
Those that are in station wagons and that type of thing that haven't got toilet facilities, they have to go to camper vans, parks.
Or they'll get a fine.
Or they'll be fined $200, yes.
Most evenings a contractor patrols Cobden Beach and the riverside and issues fines to campers who don't comply, sometimes up to 10 fines a night. This isn't him. The council wants to protect his identity. This is Steve May from the council, and he's taking us out to freedom camping hotspots tonight and very early the next morning. It's 8:30 in the evening and Steve wants to make sure this French couple having a quiet gin on Cobden Beach are not sleeping here.
If you stayed here tonight, one of my staff may actually give you a $200 fine because currently if you were sleeping in this van you don't have a self-contained toilet.
He outlines the law, gives some info about local campgrounds, then the piece de resistance.
A present from me to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But we'll be back at 5:30 in the morning to check whether this couple did move on. Now it's off up to the end of Cobden Beach Road, past the No Freedom Camping sign. There's one self-contained camper van, but Steve wants to make sure these people aren't staying the night.
Hi, I'm Steve May from the local council.
This guy says there's a network of budget travellers telling each other about free camping spots, and this was one of them.
People of internet.
On the internet?
Yes.
And they'll say, come to this place.
Yes,
because you can stay.
Yes.
Now watch the red car in the background. That's the French couple from Cobden Beach who Steve told to go to a campground. They've just seen us and now they're leaving. Steve's going to contact the van rental company. This couple told us the rental company told them they could camp anywhere.
For me, the experience of their customers getting a $200 infringement would actually tarnish their whole New Zealand experience. So they actually may go back to the hirer and saying, "Why didn't you tell me? I don't know New Zealand rules."
Down by the Cobden Bridge is another favourite sleeping place for budget tourists. Neighbouring residents are sick of it.
Do you think they know the rules?
They do. There's a sign right there. I mean, it takes 2 seconds to read it.
Yep, there's a sign, all right.
We've seen people go in the bush and spend like 10 minutes in there, come out, and there's like the little kids here go and play in there, you know. And
but as we talk, the last van Steve told to find a campground is cruising this parking spot. It's turning into a French farce.
There's backpackers over there, so across the bridge, turn right, and...
But it's not free.
No.
No. They're not prepared to pay for a night's sleep.
If we know that it's not free, we don't rent a van.
So the information out there over the net is that it's free?
Yes.
Back in town, we meet some German tourists parked up in a Greymouth street. They confess that's how they've been sleeping around the South Island.
If we have to go somewhere on the green side, outside to go for a toilet, then we just take the paper into the rubbish, put the rubbish to the next public rubbish, and then it's fine.
Steve gives directions to the backpackers and we call it a night. 5:30 in the morning and Steve and I are going out to Cobden Beach to see if the people we spoke to last night have moved on to a camping ground. So we'll see what we can find. Steve is rapt. It looks like his warnings have been heeded. There are only self-contained campers at the 2 Cobden beach sites. So we head out to Lake Brunner. It's just 6:30 and Steve thinks someone is sleeping in this car by the lake.
Morning. Steve May from the Greymouth District Council. Can I have a word, please? We're just probably wondering why you're here and not at a campground.
Why here? Because I want to free camp.
I'm going to issue you with an infringement notice this morning for $200, which means that you've breached the freedom camping bylaw. And next time, if you're coming to an area, could you please, use a campground or go to a hotel? But thank you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Sadly, I cannot say the same thing.
You can't say the same thing?
No.
No. But I did feel sorry for him. He would have sat in a big European city dreaming of camping wild at the ends of the earth. It's cost him $200 and there was no lollipop. He'll put something online probably about his experience.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
so, that'll be a deterrent, won't it?
Well, a enforcement policy has to cover the whole spectrum of warnings, enforcement and education. Grey District Council is educating as much as we can. It's a national issue.
And it needs to be addressed nationally, says Tony Cockshorn. As a country, we could make it easier for our tourists.
If you're coming from overseas and going around New Zealand, you're not interested in the rules of each particular district. As a country, we need to make a standard set of rules that apply. That way, we can tell these people when they come into New Zealand exactly what the rules are.
Nearby, a budget traveller is eating his muesli against the memorial to coal miners. He says he and his cycling friend know the rules, but can't afford to keep them.
We don't want to pay to sleep, otherwise we won't be able to live like this. If we pay like $20 a night in backpackers or elsewhere.
Even $20 a night you don't want to pay?
It's too much.
They spent last night camping at the beach near Rugby Park, so I had to ask about their movements.
You
use the public toilets?
Yeah, of course.
But wait for it.
When there is toilets.
When there is toilets?
When there is not, we do like animals, like we did a million years before. We poo on the nature. It's like natural, the most natural things.
Well, points for honesty. In all, 4 vehicles were fined the night and morning we went out by Steve and the contractor. The council wants budget travellers to come to the coast, but hopes the word will get round the travellers' network that no toilet on board means no free night in paradise.